those who are wondering, what is this? Well, him and I talked for a while, and this is for those viewers on the Kirkscountdowns M, or his real name Chris. You go subscribe to him now. Let's start chatting. So the North. So let's just start off shortly, like with the whole like fast food thing that you made for 2 minutes and then deleted.
Well, because you told me that I messed up the article where it came from. And a little side note, I
Yeah,
want to talk about this real fast. My
yeah. I made
name,
my own video. I made my own video on that because why not? And also I just felt like okay, screw this. I was a little impatient while I was waiting for you to remake it, so I made it on time. And it's just like, okay, who cares how big the post? If they're not reporting something as big as that, as the North Korea thing, they're reporting him liking fast food. What's next? Tucker Carlson like McDonald's?
well, I just thought it was stupid and it was hilarious. And because they have nothing to report on. Like, they have nothing to actually say that's actually worth a fuck. So they
Oh,
just talk about anything that comes up, you know? Like I said in one of my other videos, like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, CNN came out with, like, an article saying, you know, like, Trump is proven to be, like, anti environment because he uses too much toilet paper.
yeah, you said that I got twice in like two separate videos,
Well, I wouldn't be
and I
surprised.
well your video about the fake protesters and was Hillary Clinton releases a resistance movement. Screw
Hmm.
her.
But I really want to talk real fast. My name, my YouTube name is Kirk's Countdowns, and I changed it like I can't change it back because I changed it like the limit,
Yeah.
and I put in the M in there to see like what would happen. But when I put the M in there and change it, that was like my last time. So now it's like stuck, and I can like never change it again.
Oh well, it's okay with that name anyway.
But no, I used to do countdown videos. That's why I used to say, you know, Kirk's Countdown.
Yeah, it's funny how like with that name, but wait, what was your name before you started doing countdowns?
Kirk go bang.
Okay, because I was wondering like with that name, then why did you have the Ariana Grande objectified?
Yeah, I I did so much stuff with this channel. It's unreal.
Yeah. So I thought that first video was kind of clickbait because it doesn't really talk about Ariana Grande, but yes, it does talk about being objectified with those stupid females.
Oh, that was my first video. It was so cringy. Like I just
Yeah, especially that ending. Like, thanks for
yeah,
watching that. Off.
yeah, it was like my first video, and it's just gonna be the cringiest thing ever.
Yeah, that's how
192
every
videos
YouTuber
later.
is.
Yeah.
Like, their first videos are so crappy. That's how I feel a bit with my first video with my dad. But I'll still watch it. It's okay.
No, I dare not to watch my first video about Ariana Grande. I dare not to. I will not do it.
Well, at least I sort of got you into hearing it with the whole you chatting to me.
Mm-mm.
Funny. So I saw your video on the North Korean situation. I just hate how Kim Jong Un has this low IQ to think, let's just hit them, and we're totally not going to get up.
See, the thing with Kim, I know this is a very unpopular opinion, but I actually like him. I actually like the little fat.
Yeah,
No,
just like
I don't think he's
what?
actually going to do anything. I think he's all just all bark and no bite. He's
Yeah,
been
and
yeah, he's been threatening us for years now. So he hasn't done anything yet. So I'm not really worried about it, but if the time comes where they do you know, create uh missiles that can reach the United States, that would be a problem, especially if they I don't know if they could put a nuke on it, but they could put like chemical weapons and stuff.
yeah, well, at least the U.S. has missile defense systems, so it could probably hit the missile on the way to wherever it's trying to get to anyway.
Right.
Yeah, so at least that happened with that's happening. I just at first with my video on North Korea, I was just thinking I don't want war, but if it does, I'm kind of excited because I no one would get hurt because of the missile defense system. And I heard that China's not going to help North Korea if they actually do spark war, which
Mm-hmm.
as in like they started first.
Right. If
So
they
then like yeah, the U.S. alone could wreck it, but then we have allies like Japan, South Korea, the UK always helps us, Canada, and like pretty much most of the EU.
well, most of the EU won't get involved, neither will the UK. So it would probably just come down to America and South Korea and Japan. But like I said in my video, my last video about North Korea, I wouldn't agree with occupying and having boots on the ground in North Korea. I think that would be very dangerous and very bloody. But like I said, we
Yeah,
could stomp out their
and
military and their
we don't
base.
want Americans to die.
It's not only that, a lot of North Koreans would die too because the American soldiers would be obviously defending themselves. But it's
Yeah,
just be a bloodbath. But if
yeah,
the
and just to, oh, yeah, no, you go ahead.
but if the South Koreans or the Japanese, have the boots on the ground thing, it wouldn't be as bad that if the Americans come in because these people have been told that the Americans are going to eat their babies and whatnot. So you know,
I, it's sad how brainwashed they are.
well, you can't really blame them because they're so isolated.
Yeah, and so as this whole North Korea threatening the nuke us thing has been happening since like the Kim Il Sung was like since North Korea was a new country.
Hmm.
Uh, so yeah, it's getting old, but at least Kim Jong Un is pretty good at scaring us.
Yeah, I think like a lot of people like freak out like when he's like threatening to like nuke us and like rain down nuclear hellfire on his enemies and whatnot. But it's all I think it's like I said, I think he's just bluffing. Like if he's gonna do it, then just do it. It's like like Trump. He's like just do it. Make my day. You know.
Yeah, yeah. And speaking of Trump, I love how much stronger he is than Obama.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Obama was a very weak, effeminate man. Like if you see him and Michelle together, you obviously know that she wears the pants in the relationship.
Yeah, and I heard that that actually led to the increasing mass shootings that have been going on during Obama's administration, like with the San Bernardino, the Ford Theater, the Orlando one last year, all of that. It's because political correctness.
Right. And you see, that's another thing that pisses me off about the Orlando thing. A lot of people wanted to, pray for the victims and, we got to stop hate, but they're not identifying what is happening.
Oh no, I'll silence you for a minute.
You know what? Where'd you go? I don't know where he went.
Sorry, my mom called me. Go ahead.
I forgot what I was talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
But God, what was I talking about? Was it
Was
North?
it Obama being weak?
Oh yeah, Obama being weak. Oh no, it was about the
Uh,
Orlando the nightclub shooting and stuff.
yeah,
What pissed me off is that a lot of people would just say like uh, we feel sorry for the victims and pray for Orlando and whatnot, but they weren't saying what the problem is. The
it's
problem
Islam.
it's Islam.
It's not guns.
Right, it's not guns. I mean, just look at Europe. They don't have any guns there. They don't have gun rights over there. There's
And
still
there's
massive
rapes all the
attacks.
time.
You know,
Yeah, there's rapes all the time.
there's rapes. There's the recent attack at the Ariana Grande concert. There's where
Yeah,
Muslims.
probably the nicest stabbing, the bridge attack.
Yeah, and then the other thing is that Muslims, these radical Muslims, would get into a car and just like plow people down like they're bowling pins. So you
Yeah.
don't.
Oh yeah, and it's just hating guns is like they're against the amendment, and they're also yeah, they're against like the Second Amendment. What is it with that?
The Europeans.
No, the left in here.
I have no idea what they. I think like a lot of leftists are like just like they're shaken up by weapons. Like I think like it's actually like they're really scared of it. Like my mom is a feminist liberal, right?
Yeah, and
But she
I don't know.
likes weapons. Like she wants guns and bows and arrows and all that other kind of shit. But
That's just
she mainly wants
go ahead.
guns. I would consider her like a like 80s kind of liberal. Not like a modern day crazy nut liberal.
Yeah, I absolutely prefer the classic liberals. I mean, at least we just seem to disagree, and that's it. The modern liberals are just whiny babies that try to kidnap us, kill us, and that shut us down from free speech.
Right. But a lot of the left today is our platforms have completely changed. Under Bush, the left was saying the stuff we were saying now. We don't want censorship. We don't want wars. We don't want to bomb people in the third world. We want, freedom and freedom of expression and freedom of speech and all the other stuff.
Yeah, but now with Trump becoming president, I guess that changed since they supported Hillary Clinton, who was like Bush.
Oh, she was worse than Bush. Oh no, yeah, they're pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I mean they're both horribly corrupt. They're both doing like responsible for wars. I don't know about the Afghanistan war, but I would say the Iraq war.
Yeah, Bush did a whole bunch of bullshit, and Obama. See, under Bush, the liberals were, complaining that Bush was bombing people in the third world. Then Obama got elected, and he continued that with his drone strikes. And then
Yeah, and but go ahead.
Obama gets a Nobel Peace Prize, right, for bombing people in the third world, right? And
Yeah.
it's Obama's fault that caused the refugee crisis in the first place.
Wait, Nobel Peace. He got Nobel Peace Prize.
I think so. Yeah, I think he did.
Oh, if he did that is so messed up. Especially that's for peace, not killing innocent people with drones.
Well, see, it's perception. The media, politicians, movie stars, singers, they all were just rimming Obama's. They loved him to death. I
Yeah,
don't know
just a
why.
little curiosity about Bush. Did you think he caused 9/11?
Like the conspiracy.
Like, are you conspiracy theorists like them?
Uh, I like to entertain conspiracy theories. Like I don't actually like believe in like any of them, but I
Yeah,
do like.
I don't
I
really.
think they're fascinating. Like I think, it could be true. I don't have enough information on it, but I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't put it past Bush. And Obama was
Yeah,
no different. He caused the Syrian refugees in the first place. He destabilized Libya. He almost over Egypt. He was nothing different than Bush
yes.
or Clinton or Bush before him. But
I think
he,
uh, I may be wrong on this, but I think the only difference with Obama is that he was much more politically correct and weak on all of that crap.
right. But
Yeah, so
well,
that's just
Obama was the um,
racial
politic
president.
right. He was the racial, politically correct president, right?
Yeah,
And
I
that's
hate how people are like for president. They're just like based on nothing that really matters. They're just. I mean, for president, you should be based on something like the economy, healthcare, education, our military, all of that. That's what matters.
right.
And
But
I like how Trump is the immigration and jobs president.
right, Trump is the money's president, and Obama was the
Racial president.
racial issue president. Bill Clinton was the getting blowjobs in the Oval Office president, and
Uh,
Bush before him was, I don't know.
Yeah, oh yeah, and if we ever go to war with North Korea, another thing to point out is like how dated their technology was. I mean, this is before the first Bush administration, which is from 1989 and 1993, as in their technology is that outdated.
Right. Yeah, they're like
It's
basically living
yes,
like
but
the 50s.
yeah, it was like 50s technology. Like we're much more modernized. So like, I hate how it's funny to think like, oh, they are so much more tougher
Mm.
with these nukes and crap, but look at us. If you really want to mess with us, no.
Yeah, no, I still think that Kim Jong is just bluffing. He doesn't actually mean any of the shit that he says. He I don't know what his problem is. I know he wants to reunite reunite
Uh,
the Korean Peninsula under his rule and whatnot. I know that's what he wants to do, but his threatening of other people is stupid. Like he's a horrible political player. I would think you would
yeah,
want to get allies on your side, not, threaten every single country on earth that you're going to nuke them. I don't think that's a good idea. Even China,
yeah.
he threatened to nuke China a few times.
You try to nuke China?
No, he threatened to nuke China.
Huh. It's just stupid how like I heard that they're still kind of allies with China, with North Korea because they border each other. That's
Mm.
like saying India and Pakistan should get along, yeah, because they border each other. And you know how much they hate each other over that land they're fighting over.
Right.
Yeah, that's stupid. I mean, really, China, you can do better than that.
Well, it's just like Kim. I don't know. I think he's an odd character in this time of in this modern time. He's a very odd character.
Yeah, I think he's just brainwashed by his and by his grandfather.
Well, he's been born into power, and it's not like born into like a politician's family. It's like actually like real like accession, kings and queens type of power. He was born into that, so he's had that mind full of all his life. So
Yeah, true. And so remember when I commented to you on the TJ Kirk? I mean, on your CNN Trump tweeting that CNN feeding video. I mentioned TJ Kirk.
yeah.
And so just to tell him about him, he's this absolutely idiotic person. I mean, so he's just like a leftist on YouTube with a million subscribers, and he's like, oh, like Trump has low IQ for threatening North Korea that we mean business if they ever attack us. Okay, I mean, like, okay, what the heck was he supposed to do?
Well, I don't. I wasn't T.J. Kirk the Amazing Atheist before.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
that's him.
Okay. So I don't haven't I haven't watched any of his videos, so I really don't know like what he talks about or stuff like that. But
Yeah, he used to do like atheist stuff, like, oh, let's prove Christianity, atheism is true. And I'm like, okay, just let them be Christian if they want to. I'm just a guy like just stick with your belief. I mean, because they could be right. Like I'm Baptist, I could be right. You're atheist, you could be right. Who knows?
all right, give me like 5 minutes. I'm like maybe like 2 minutes. Hold on.
Okay.
So I'm back,
Okay.
and
What was that?
you brought up a point that I wanted to talk about, and that is the leftist hypocrisy on religion.
Yeah.
I was gonna do a video on responding to secular talks, Christophobic comments on Governor Jim Justice. I think when he switched his when he switched his party loyalty, and
Yeah.
in Jim Justice's speech, he was talking about like his parents were very conservative and how they would be proud of him and how they were proud that he came to his senses and whatnot. And then
Yeah.
he's secular talk comes on, and he's like, he's basically making fun of the guy for his beliefs. Like there's
Wow.
no heaven, it's stupid, it's la la land and whatnot. Now I'm not
Yeah.
conservative, right? Like I mean, I'm not Christian, right? I'm
Yeah.
not very religious. I'm not religious to any religions. My
Yeah.
mom, she's Christian, and she has tried to take me to church a few times, and I tell her, you take me to that church, I'm just going to burst into flames. But I'm not
That's
religious.
actually.
You
Oh, go
know,
ahead.
I'm not a religious person. I do believe in like reincarnation and stuff like that, but like man sitting in the sky with angels, demons, or what, I don't believe in that kind of stuff. But the thing about the left that pisses me off is that they love to ramble and on Christianity and Catholics and whatnot, but
Yeah.
they are so open arm loving to Islam, and this is
Yeah.
why
I know.
and this is
Speaking of on Christianity, that's how Amazing Atheist was with.
oh, they're gonna buy. Ain't nobody watching, just me and Seth. Two long strangers just chatting it up.
So sorry, I'm back. My mom came back from dropping my sister off to my nana's.
What were you saying?
Oh, I was saying like that's what TJ Kirk first did with his first videos. Like, let's prove atheism is true. Again, I'm just like, dude. And he even made his video titled "I Hate Religion and Jesus Too."
No, but see,
So I'm like,
if a YouTuber with a million subscribers aimed at Islam, like let's
I know.
disprove Islam, Allah's
Actually, he made a video called "Liberals in Islam that they need to change." So he's a leftist, but he does criticize feminists and SJWs too.
But does he criticize Islam?
He's criticized how the left is with Islam.
Well, see, I don't think I really have a problem with him with that then, because I appreciate a liberal who sees bullshit when they see bullshit. Now we can disagree on opinions on Trump. That's fine. But if he's willing to call out, the leftist hypocrisy on Islam and feminism, all this other shit, then by all means, have his own opinions about Trump. That's fine. We can debate about that all day.
Yeah, true.
The thing about the left and Islam is that the left claims to be still so for gay rights and so for gay people and whatnot. Now I've talked about this in another one of my videos, and my cousin is gay, and
but they support Islam, which executes gays.
Right, and they behead gays, they stone gays, they throw gays off buildings. And if anyone's gonna kill my cousin, it's gonna be me. Okay.
No. Like he would even do that.
I would, but no, me and him have a good relationship. He's a little.
Yeah, and just a question: do you have siblings?
I have an older sister. Yes.
Okay, how is she?
Me and her don't talk.
Okay, so you don't know if she's a liberal or something?
Oh no, I know she's a liberal. I know she's dead liberal. I am like the red thumb in my family. Like all of my family are like liberals. I'm the only I'm the only conservative person in my family.
Yeah, and another thing I hate about the left is like how they are basing their stuff on emotion, not actual facts.
Right, and I want to talk about this too, because I talked about in a video that I would say that when I explained that I used to be a liberal, and I used to be a liberal.
Yeah.
And when I was a liberal, I didn't, base my opinions on logic or anything like that. It was just emotion. So that's how I know a lot of liberals today are not going off of what's logical. They're going off of what they feel. Like they don't like Trump because he's a bully and he's mean to the illegal criminal immigrants, and they think that's wrong. Instead of looking at it through a logical lens and saying, we need to do something about our immigration problems. We need to do something about our border wall. We need to do something about this, that, and the other.
Oh, that's totally racist.
That is racist and bigoted. It's like you got to catch them all. You got to catch all these buzzwords. I know I'm racist.
Like, this is so racist.
I know I'm racist. I'm homophobic. I'm Islamic phobic. I haven't got sexist yet. Maybe when I start talking more about traditionalism and my beliefs on that, maybe I'll be called a sexist then.
Oh, and a little while ago when you said that you were like you would go burst into flames if you went to church. That's actually how my sister is sometimes.
Well, no, I don't think like my sister isn't religious either, and neither is my mom. She claims to be. It's like people in the West, they just claim a religion, they don't really follow it. Like that's like the general rule. Like I don't claim to be any religion, so it doesn't really, matter.
Yeah, what's Nevada like?
Yeah, but the thing is that the left is like all up in arms for religion now. Even 10 years ago, they were saying how religion was so awful, but now they're all in favor for it because it's Islam.
Ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, and it's dangerous too. We don't want.
Where did they get this idea of supporting Islam in the first place? I mean, look at ISIS. Look at Saudi Arabia. Look at these terrorists happening in America. Terrorism happening in the UK right now.
Right. Islam. I'm not going to say that there are no peaceful Muslims, because there are, but Islam does practice, very barbaric things. It has, in the Quran about, and beating your wife or killing the gays, are doing all these things. But the left just,
Yeah.
turns a blind eye to it because that's Islamophobic. This is how the left strangulated itself. They can't the little umbrella groups that are under liberalism, like Islam, feminism, SJW, LGBT, they can't confront each other about their own bigotry because then they'll be bigots themselves. So that's how the left strangulated itself. Like the feminists can't talk about Islam because then they'll be Islamophobic. Islam can't talk about feminism because then they'll be sexist, maybe. And then, you know, it's just a strangulated uh, clusterfuck.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And just by the way, I was trying to bring this up a little while ago. Like you said there something like multiple things I was going to bring up. Oh, by the way, they're socialist.
No, there's oh god. Oh, don't let me get into those bunch of.
And by the way, that TJ Kirk guy, he's like, oh, I want to go to places where they have universal health care just because it's free. I'm like, okay, so you don't want money going back to the economy, and you want to get your kid possibly dead because it would take months to get a doctor's appointment in places like Canada with those universal health care.
Right. I think like in Quebec, like 37% of people waited 5 hours or more. It is true. You get what you pay for. You know.
Yeah, and about about our doctor system, yes, it costs expensive, but I would, if I were TJ Kirk, I would just waste that money to save my kid.
Right.
And at least, yeah, at least you get that immediately. Like you can get a doctor's appointment just a few days later, and you can just go to the hospital immediately if there's something wrong that's a hospital needy.
Right. A little personal experience when I pinched my nerves. I was in the gym and I was squatting and I had wrong posture or something and I pinched my nerve and my whole entire left leg hurt for like months, right? Until like I was finally talked into going to the hospital. So I went to the hospital. I waited there for like 4 hours in a little doctor's room, and just for him to peek his head in and say, "Take some Advil, you'll be fine." That's about like $3,500 for that.
Yeah, that's the thing about Obamacare. It's like I heard from my dad, like you have to pay $600 per month for insurance, and then you have to pay $1,500 for something like treating you before the insurance can even cover it.
Right.
So
No,
like, what the heck, Obama?
Obama Obamacare was written up by a bunch of pharmaceutical companies and shit like that. So it doesn't benefit, the average person. It benefits the wealthy. I love how the liberals love to talk about we need to help the 1%. I mean we need to help the 99% of these big bad evil corporations, the millionaires and billionaires, they're not paying their fair share, blah 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 blah. But then
Yeah,
their messiah, Obama, is meeting with multi-million billionaire pharmaceutical companies, and he let them form Obamacare. That's
same. Yeah, same thing with Hillary Clinton. She's just getting money from Goldman Sachs, Saudi Arabia, all that
oh
bull
yeah,
crap.
oh yeah. No, but
Yeah,
Hillary was a weak candidate. Now, see, if Trump did something like that, if Trump got, a bunch of billionaire corporations to form his tax reform, what do you think the liberals would say about it? They'd be crying their fucking eyes out. Oh, he's working with big money. He's blah 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 blah. It's
yeah.
hypocrisy.
I have this sixth sense, where I can detect litard tear floodings. I detect them openly in LA.
LA. Yeah, it's like right next door to me.
Oh, I'm so sorry for you.
A lot of SJW shit kind of leaks over here in Nevada, but it's not as bad. Like we still have, like, Nevada's a good place for business, but
Okay, so
yeah, but
what's Nevada like in nature wise?
a desert.
Oh, that's it.
I mean, you have
It's
some
really
good,
hot there.
you have some good urban neighborhoods like where I live in. There's a lot of trees where I live. There's a lot of grass and whatnot. But
Uh,
yeah, the majority of Nevada is just desert, just plain desert. I mean, we have the whole
yeah,
Area 51 thing, but that's it. Which I attempted to drive up there with my friend once.
Yeah, don't do that. It's governmental. So
Oh, what are they gonna do? Shoot me?
yes,
No, no, I'm not scared. Yeah,
yeah.
beat me and drag me out
Especially
their
how you live in
gulag.
this society today, where there's these idiots and colleges that still will not grow up.
Oh yeah, God. I am so happy I didn't go to college. Like I
That's
could.
scaring me to go to college, and
No,
I'm only 14.
I think by the time you get into college, you'll be a lot better than it is now because
Hopefully,
society and culture is changing. It's not going to take that long. You know, all this feminist HAW shit will be dead by the time you probably enter into college. It'll be like cringy, you know, things that they laugh at, you know, and
I would love to see that.
yeah, no, college today is just insane. Like I would, hell no. You know, especially me as a white male going to college. Oh no, no, I am not. Well, I have to be like a complete beta male cock to be allowed there.
Yeah, and I'm graduating 2021, by the way.
Oh, I told
So
you. Yeah,
I wonder how much now.
it'll be
But
fine by the time you go to college.
yeah, sure I will. So I would graduate by the time that Trump might already have a second inauguration.
Right. But
I hope so.
I do think that Trump is going to be assassinated in his second term. I really do think that. And I
Uh,
and I think that because, you know, he's not playing the political, you know, old game of politics and business and stuff like that. He's not playing that game.
there were assassination attempts on Bush, and he played that game.
But Bush, his assassination attempts were like maybe from, you know,
Someone tried to plant a shoe bomb towards him.
yeah, but it was coming from civilians though. You know, if Trump gets assassinated, it's going to be coming from other politicians and big business. You know, because
I'm sure enough
he's not
people
benefiting
like
them. You
liberal
know,
left.
and then you have to worry about the neocons too, like John McCain, Mitch McConnell, and all those other idiots in office. They don't like Trump
Yeah.
just as much. John McCain is trying to fuck over everything Trump is doing.
I mean, the only thing I only feel sorry for his brain cancer. That's
I
it.
don't. I don't. No.
Oh.
No. He's been an idiot. He's trying to start wars. He's been always a you know.
Who have you preferred to vote for in 2008?
I wanted him voted. I was too
Okay,
young
that
to
makes
vote,
sense.
but I don't know. I couldn't
Hard,
like
hard to pick.
yeah. They're both like just like pick your bowl of you know. Yeah, that's what it really boiled down to. Just here's that bowl of and here's this bowl. And that's what we usually have to choose from. We just gotta pick which one smells the least worst.
Yeah. And how often do you go to the
6 days a week.
Oh, okay.
But
And
I work out like individual body parts. Like tomorrow I have just chest day. Day after that is biceps, and then back, legs, and shoulders.
all right. So I'm just trying to think of what else. What was that again? And I forgot to tell you. There for the 2020 election, the Democrats had announced their big first major candidate. It's this congressman from Maryland.
Oh man, I can't wait for the 2020 election. I hope that it was just as chaotic as it is now. And somehow I wish Bernie would be the nominee because to see Trump and Bernie go at it would just be historical. Just the violence, the riots. It would just be the most. It would be the worst. It would be worse than the last election. But I think
Yeah.
the DNC would probably screw Bernie over again, which would
Yeah,
cause further alienation within the progressive liberal groups.
yeah. I just think like I'm also the kind of person like man, it was hard to pick who to vote for in the last year's president Democratic primaries, but at least Bernie Sanders doesn't cheat.
Bernie Sanders is an idiot, but I wouldn't even
Yeah,
consider him honest either. Like he's just another corrupt politician and a socialist on top of that. Just look at
yeah.
Venezuela and see how good.
Speaking of him being corrupt, I heard that there was this report from him like a while back going like dumping nuclear waste somewhere for $8,000 an hour.
Yeah, he does not give a shit about the economy or anything like that. You see, socialists like Bernie, if you really think about socialism and where it really happens under socialism, is that these politicians like Bernie Sanders would claim and say that they're for the little people, for the little man, and whatnot. But then once they get in power, who benefits mostly from socialism? It's multi-billionaire companies that get to strangulate their competitors because socialism destroys all free market competition.
And if he was president, he would just be the liberals would just consider him the free college president, but us smart people who consider us would consider him you president.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Bernie doesn't have a chance in hell.
Yeah,
Socialism. We see what's going on in Venezuela. We see what socialism does to a country.
yeah,
And
especially Cuba too.
yeah, it's just socialism has never worked out. Socialism slash communism because there really no difference between the two. We see what
I know.
that.
I heard that socialism is actually the start of communism.
Hmm.
Uh,
No, it's
I
just
don't know.
Kim Kim Jong Un and his North Korea. They're a bunch of commies, and
Which
we saw what
okay,
happened. We saw what happened to the USSR. It collapsed on itself, and that's the
yeah.
problem with socialism. They give out all this social programs in order to keep the people happy, but then eventually the money runs out. And that's what we saw in Venezuela because under Hugo Chavez, he laid the groundwork for the modern, suffragette in Venezuela.
Okay, so I'm trying to get my phone. Be able to. Hopefully, you'll hear this video from John Gelany, his campaign. So, hopefully, we can talk about this video.
Okay.
Hopefully, it happens. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear that.
Okay. It's 5 minutes long, by the way. Now, give him that. He's not just he's calling out these idiot liberals rioting in streets of Chicago. Like, hey, you can't win by doing that the whiny way.
Well, see, that's what the Democratic Party needs. They need reform. They need to change their platform. They can't win elections by just saying our opponent is racist, sexist, bigoted because that didn't work the last time.
That's like saying my sister should just get this Barbie that she wanted by whining and complaining.
Right. And people, the majority of Americans, they're not going to be receptive to a liberal message when they're, at least we're not Trump. They don't have a platform. They don't have a, real platform against Trump, okay, he's going to do this when we need to do the opposite or we need to do something different. They don't have that. They just have, we're not Trump. Just look at all
Well,
the
then again,
special
this is a
elections.
campaign ad, so he might be lying for the sake of getting supporters.
True, but if he is, he's playing the game right because he understands that the modern liberal democratic platform is
Yeah,
falling
messed
apart.
up.
Right.
Yeah,
And he could easily reform the party, but it the DNC is a corporation.
yeah.
And
They helped Hillary Clinton cheat. That's terrible.
right, but they have a right to do that because they are a corporation, right? And so is the RNC. But um, it, I don't know. I mean, the Democrats, they're getting slammed in all these special elections. They just had a governor switch parties. The Democrats are
Yeah,
really getting, pounded with no
yeah. I
lead.
just laughed how that was another victory for us in my video about Jim Justice because like the Democrats lost their own politician, one of
Right,
their own politicians, because he said that they walked away from him.
right. But
Yeah,
see, the liberals, the Democratic platform is what? You know, racism, sexism. We need to elect Muslims so we don't, look like racists. We need to we need to get rid of all these white people. That's not going to work for the majority of Americans. No one's going to
And
vote for that crap.
for a little bit, about Stephen Colbert, I really hate how all the Tonight shows are just bashing him on a daily basis because that's how. I like how he also points them up because they're just bashing him. That's not going to make you win.
Right, and that's another thing I hate too. It's like you go into trendings list on YouTube, and it's like all these late night show hosts, comedians, and they're just constantly bashing Trump. It's like it's gonna get old. If Trump
Yeah.
gets if Trump gets his second election, he's not even in his first year, and well, what are they going to talk about in the next seven? Are they going to keep talking about how he's Orange Hitler? I mean, it's going to get old, and it's going to get old real fast. You know,
Yeah,
there
and
was
when the GOP baseball shooting happened, uh, for the first time I've ever seen, Stephen Colbert said something good about Trump.
oh really? What did he say?
Oh, he just said like, "Thank you, Trump, for responding to this thing, hearts and prayers for towards like I guess I know no one died, but still, like he thought about this whole situation.
Oh, he hated doing that.
Who? Oh, it's Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, he probably hated doing that, but he had to do it for ratings and whatnot. But the idiot who did that shut up the Republican baseball, he was a far left socialist Bernie Sanders supporter.
Was he against guns?
Yeah, he was against. Yeah, they're against guns when they want to use them themselves. I want they need to give it to the Muslims for their
Yeah, it's
safety.
just to show how hypocritical they are.
Right.
Because speaking of hypocrisy, just to bring up, TJ Kirk once said like, "Oh, Tucker Carlson says raping is great," and I don't really think he said that. Tucker Carlson said something like a while back, saying like about 15-year-old boys and girls thinking rape is great or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Oh, Bill Maher says it, but that's funny, so I'm gonna let Bill Maher get away with it. But I don't think Tucker Carlson is funny, so fuck him."
Well, see, it's just liberals are just hypocrites. It's like common knowledge at this point. It's like water. I mean, ice is cold, fire is hot. Liberals are dumb. It's just common knowledge at this point. It should be at least.
Yeah. Let's continue that video. So, what did you think about what he just said there?
How? That's how I would ask him. Well, how do you plan to make it better? What are you gonna
That's
do?
another thing. The liberals say this, like we're gonna do this, especially like with Stephen Hawking. Like that article I brought you for that video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like we're gonna like they just say it, but they don't even explain how they're gonna do it.
Right.
What was Stephen Hawking supposed to? He didn't even say what was he supposed to do. He just said, "Oh, Trump's gonna make things harder than Venus." When not only Venus is the second closest planet, but
Right. It's just like the Elon Musk guy who was so mad about Trump for leaving the Paris Accord deals, even though the Paris Accord deals wouldn't have done for supposedly global warming, and he just wanted his piece of the pie. That's all he wanted.
Yeah. Cha-ching.
Yeah, that's what
somebody is actually watching this live stream apparently.
Oh yeah, it's probably like one of us.
No comments though. But oh well. I mean, who cares if barely anyone's watching it? We'll just do this because we like to do it.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure maybe I'll get like 10, maybe 15 views on it.
Yeah, especially with how much subscribers you have.
Well, yeah, but God, it took me such a long time to get that. I started my channel back in December, and now it's August. It's been quite a while. And now I'm almost at 200,000 total views.
Huh.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, let's continue. Oh, oops, sorry. I turned that down to see what who was watching the video or live stream. All right, let's continue now.
Okay.
It's this person called Catherine Bradley for Educational Advocate. Let's see. What issues?
Well, but see but that's the thing. You know, they want to make such progress. What progress? Well, what do you want to do? What policies, what things are you going to bring forth that are different than Trump's? They're not discussing that. They're just, we need to do this. We need to do, well, how are you going to do it? What are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly. It just is like he can tackle things that no one else can.
Right. It's like this is the three main disadvantages that the liberal Democratic Party have. They can't discuss Islam. They can't discuss immigration. They can't discuss border security. And they can't discuss jobs effectively without being called racist or something else of a buzzword that they created. These are the issues that Americans care about, and they can't discuss it, which gives them a massive disadvantage.
Yeah, and I just hate how they're just probably kind of tackling Trump on the economy, which I think like the fact that he spent a lot of his life based on getting rich with money, that could really boost up our economy.
Well, that's why I said Trump is the money and jobs president. Right. He is. I have faith in him to do what he needs to do in order to make America like industrial again, make it stable again. Because under Obama, he just
he barely boosted the economy.
Right. Obama did so much up to this economy, and then he added trillions to the debt, and it's just it's he was a fuck up, and Trump comes in and he actually has good economic plans and economic proposals, but the only thing the Democrats are talking about is, oh no, we need to do something, we need to do something different, we need to do something different. Well, what do you want to do that's different? Do you want to continue the policy that Obama was doing? Because we saw how good those did. Are you going to go back to the Clinton era? I mean, what? Bring forth proposals, bring forth policy, like actually how, like steps A, B, and C. Not we just need to get started.
Yeah. Oh no, what job do you do since you're not getting paid for YouTube yet?
Well, I do get a little bit. It's not like I'm not rolling on doves, but I do own my own clothing brand.
Okay, well at least you're able to support yourself.
Yeah. But
okay.
No, the Democrats don't have anything to go on. They are, they can't discuss the things that Americans truly care about. Like is what I said, Islam, immigration, and border security. They cannot discuss those things because they would be racist and bigoted by their own terms. So they have just a titanic disadvantage, that they cannot. Even if Bernie Sanders became the nominee, he can't discuss those things. He's just going to go out. We need to get the 1%, blah blah blah. He can't discuss how is he going to tackle ISIS. He's not going to discuss how he's going to tackle immigration. He's not going to talk about taxes, or he shouldn't talk about taxes because that would just lose him the election right there.
True.
But
go ahead.
No, go on.
Oh, okay. So just to tell you, just to get off track for a little while. So I remember this person in my school. I'm starting freshman this year anyway. So this person in my school thinks like we could have just voted for Bernie Sanders in a general election, and that he lost the primaries because people thought he was gonna die. Yeah, I just looked back and like, what the man.
No, I don't believe he's old enough to die. I just think that a lot of his proposals and what he wants to do is just stupid. He's a socialist. He wants to tax not the multi-billionaires, not the multi-millionaires. He's not going to actually do anything in the tax code that actually has them pay anything. He's just going to raise the taxes on people like you and I, and that's who's going to pay everything.
Yeah, I can't even pay taxes yet.
Right, but I mean, well, your parents then. Me and your
Yeah,
parents, we already pay taxes, and Bernie Sanders, especially me as a business owner, he wants to fuck me hard as a business
I'll get away from that.
owner. Ugh, yeah, no. Bernie is old, wrinkly, but Bernie, he just wants socialism, and we see what socialism does. It
Yeah,
destroys a country, and Venezuela would be for years to come because they're on the verge of civil war and revolution. You
yeah.
know,
Oh, there are riots nonstop, and I heard Trump threaten military action with Venezuela.
no, I wouldn't agree with that either. I
Yeah,
would not.
I'm just like, okay, really, Trump? It's just like, not like getting. I'm not too sure if he meant like boots on the ground. I just think he meant. Okay, he might be, but he just said military action. He didn't mean specifically like Air Force or Army. I mean, you really shouldn't mess with Venezuela right now. Not because they're dangerous, just because that there's really no reason to.
Well, but see, this is the issue. Just it's similar to North Korea, where the Venezuelan people have been told, it's the evil capitalistic America that want to come in and destroy you and take away your freedoms and blah blah blah. So if we do come in and like boots on the ground in Venezuela try to overthrow Maduro, then he will get actually more support through that because he can just point and say, "See, I told you they were going to do this." So but what Trump can do is put pressure on other Latin countries like Brazil, Peru, and all those other ones to do something about Venezuela, and we should not
Yeah.
get involved physically.
And since we were also like watching this campaign video, we should stop getting off track and just pay attention to this video.
Okay.
Okay, sure. Can you at least give me some quotes from specific people?
I couldn't
Actually,
even
then,
I couldn't really hear that
oh,
though.
I'll turn all the way up. It's like it was after the part where he's like, oh, we talk about like, they don't explain what they're gonna do. They just say, we'll just do it.
Right, but I mean that's the Democratic line now. It's just we're not Trump. Vote for us because we're not racist bigots, and it just doesn't work. That's why they lost all the special elections.
Okay, so let's try and hopefully you can hear it. You heard that?
Yeah,
Dang it, that's weird.
I said yeah.
Oh.
So on balance, global trade reshaped and improved our country and the world, but it didn't help everyone. And no one stood up to make sure entire communities were decimated and those hurt were helped. The backbone of our country, the people who built our nation and saved the world, were tragically ignored.
Can you prove that?
Well, it's just they're just being hypocrites. Like I said, it was Obama who caused the refugee crisis in the first place. It was Obama that funded the FSA that were sneaking weapons. I mean, Obama is the cause of all this that happened in Europe right now. But the left is like,
Yeah.
let's continue those policies because that's progress. Destabilizing Libya, that's progress. If
Right.
Obama had his way, he would have got Assad out of power, and then Syria would have fallen into chaos, just like Libya. And we'd probably try to do the same with Iran. Now, the thing I like about Trump is that he is mostly out of the Middle East. And I like that. I think we should not be in the Middle East whatsoever. No ground troops, no bombs, no nothing. Let
Yeah.
Russia and Assad
At least
take care of ISIS.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, just let Assad and Russia take on ISIS.
Yeah. And I think the reason like Bush started doing it was mostly because of 9/11, like trying to find Osama, but then he just decided let's up with this worse.
Well, see, but then that comes with the conspiracy theory about that Osama bin Laden died um, months
Yeah.
before Obama said he killed him. You know, and they
Yeah.
they buried him at sea, and they didn't have any pictures of him. because it would have been disrespectful. So if I didn't see a picture of his dead body, I'm not going to think that Obama actually did it. But under Bush, um, I think he just wanted the oil money. um, I don't think he actually there were no nuclear threats from Afghanistan or Iraq or whatever. I think he just wanted to go in and get the oil, to be honest. I don't think
Just oh, go ahead.
I don't think he actually Bush just pretended to be dumb. Bush wasn't actually stupid. He just pretended to be. You learn that from his daddy. But go on.
Yeah, yeah. Just a quick question. I know you don't respect Bush, but do you at least respect the soldiers that had to go through what
Oh yes.
Bush did?
Oh yeah. I have no issue. The soldiers have orders and they're told what to do. It's not them. It's the generals. It's the commanders. It's the people in charge that are moving them around on the board like chess pieces. It's not.
Yeah, that's my step uncle. He was a military veteran.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with the military people. I support our military, and I think we should do a lot more than what we've been doing with the veterans. It's we give all this social money to immigrants, but the veterans basically. And it's just not right.
And Trump's transgender troop, at least Trump messed with the leftists by getting them to actually care about the soldiers, just the transgender ones, though.
No, yeah,
Yeah, and what was that thing? I forgot. Oh yeah, TJ Kirk also long ago said that the truth is like soldiers are just brainwashed thugs killing innocent people.
well, see, but like I said, soldiers they have orders and whatnot, and soldiers are told what to do, and they're told to do this mission and that mission. It's not. It's the people in command that you really have to hold accountable. If a soldier
Yeah,
rapes someone, then yeah, he should be held accountable. But that generally doesn't happen, and you know, I don't know. Like I
yeah.
don't. I'm not a big supporter of war. Like I wouldn't want to go to war with any Middle Eastern country. I sure as hell don't want to go to war with Russia.
Me
And
neither.
like I said, Trump, what he can do with North Korea is just send Tomahawk missiles at them, flatten their military bases, and just let South Korea and Japan take over. Because it's not going to take much to overthrow Kim Jong Un. I'll tell you that. But
So let's get back to the video.
yeah,
Okay.
Now there's another big wave of global change happening. Technological innovation and automation are reshaping the economy and jobs. As a country, we need to step up and break things.
All right. And there was this part saying 49% of hold on, let me scroll back to that part. It says 49% of workers' activities can be done by robotics.
yeah, and then who's going to get the minimum wage then?
Good, yeah. And at least that would seem like job being taken away. They just said get them to get those employees to make the robots.
Right.
Yeah, so at least like they can get paid better and all that. Let's
Yeah,
continue.
like for me, like no,
Okay.
go on.
What?
Play the thing.
All right.
Republican solution is to divest healthcare, training, education. That's a backwards approach.
They're just like Republicans undermine education, healthcare, and training.
Yeah, his liberals are just a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, it's said by the people who on the side that said at the troops one at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like, oh no, the Republicans just don't treat them with respect. They don't undermine. They undermine training them.
Right. But to me, like the Democrats, they have lost so much, respect. They have lost so much credibility that they might as well go to like minor party status. I'd rather have like
Yeah,
Republican and Libertarian, and those are the two main
yeah,
parties that I would like to see. Because
yeah,
under the Democratic rule, under Democratic policies and whatnot, it just leads to just look at places like Michigan and Illinois that have liberal leaders there for decades, and it's a shithole. You know?
yeah. Okay, let's play the thing. I really hate how campaign ads don't even explain this. I think probably most campaign ads don't really explain that either.
Right, but see, this is the thing he brought up was about raising wages, and that's something else that the liberals love to gum on about is about we need to raise the minimum wage, we need to pay people more. But like I said in one of my other videos, if you have this large influx of immigrants who are competing with these low skill jobs, low paid jobs, and then you have all these companies who are going to have to hire them based on diversity and shit like that, how can you expect to actually grow the um, or raise the minimum wage, when you can't because you have so many people to subsidize.
And another thing about bad thing about raising the minimum wage is that restaurant like businesses like McDonald's won't be able to afford more people because they have to pay them more an hour.
Right. Like McDonald's was something like, a kid like your age would get in the summer, not like it shouldn't be something that people have to, rely on for their living standards, and that was just like a job that you could got back then when you were a kid because you wanted to buy like a bike or something. Not like something that you
Yeah,
have to rely on. It's a messed up thing that we have now. And the liberals have helped shaped it, you know.
yeah. Okay, so let's play the thing.
Okay.
Hang on. There.
John grew up the son of a union electrician. Hard work, decent.
But just at first I thought like immediately after saying a cleaner, stronger something society, I thought they were gonna prove it like for some reason, but then it just immediately cuts to April McLean felony. Just talking about like something.
Yeah, no. These
Yeah,
liberals are just idiots.
yeah.
Healthcare, pension. Expands what that means for a working family. He was a youth his scholarship to help John afford college. In building two businesses from scratch, John succeeded by working with others, like his dad did on a job site. He builds teams, he's creative, and he's a problem solver. And he's always motivated by a set of progressive and ethical values.
Huh. Yeah, what do you think?
He's always is that the end of the video?
I know. I just paused it.
Well, put that
The
video.
whole thing's like five.
Yeah, just
What?
put that away. She said that
All right.
John or whatever the name was that he
Felony.
was Johnny was he believes in progressive and whatever values, and then they want to talk about the working family and business. They don't give a shit about those things. They are liberals here. They don't give a shit about the working class. They don't give a shit about um, the nuclear family. They don't give a crap about any of that.
I don't think they even. I don't think progressivism is even good thing.
Well, what is progressive? Like, what is progressive? Like, how do you be a progressive?
I don't know. All I know is that it started during when Theodore Roosevelt tried to defeat William Howard Taft.
Yes, but see, they never explain what progressive is. They just said, I'm just so progressive. I'm like, well, what the fuck is that? It's just they don't explain it. Like you can explain, why you support Trump. You support his views on immigration. You want him to build a wall. You believe in having border security. You have all. But what is progression? I mean, what is progressive? Like, what is it?
Exactly.
They don't explain that, and that's how they get up. And this is like off the point, but I see like a lot of progressive guys, and they're like very feminine men, and mostly vegan and stuff like that. And I don't know what it
They
is.
really don't get vegans.
I don't know what it is about liberal progressive guys. They're a lot more feminine than traditionally conservative guys. I don't know what that I don't know what it is about. Maybe I don't know. But liberals, they're just a oh fuck that. But
I
one,
hate how they don't even explain or stuff like we explain why we support Trump. They just say we're bad, we're racist, and they don't even explain why they think that way.
well, racism and their definition is, you want to have border security, you want to do something about immigration, you don't want to date, like, 10 black people and like 20 Mexican people. You don't want to, have biracial children. You don't want any of that. You're somehow an evil racist bigot. If you don't have like
And if
10,
that ever happened, oh,
if you don't have like 10 black friends, if you don't, support unlimited immigration, if you don't want, some Muslims in your neighborhood, then you're just a horrible bigot who needs to be stomped out. The liberals love to talk about peace and, you know, doing things fair and whatnot, but when they get challenged, they're the ones who get violent. Look at all the Bernie bros. Look at all the Hillary supporters. They were the ones that were starting bullshit and violence at the Trump rallies.
yeah. And also, like, I'll just make sure not to ignore that crap if that ever happens in my high school prom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back when I was in high school, we I don't think we were that big into politics. I mean, when I was yours, I didn't know what the fuck a Republican or a Democrat is. So you guys are a lot more advanced in my generation was, which is probably
Were you in Were you in high school back in like during the Bush administration or Clinton?
um I was just being born around Clinton era. Under Bush, I was like, I don't know, like 7, 8, and then Obama got elected. Because I'm 23 right now, and
Okay, so
yeah, so I'm not like
um,
how old do you think I was?
okay, you said you were born in '94, so I'm guessing around the late Bush.
No, but like when you first heard me, like how old do you think I was?
Oh, I just thought you were some. I never actually thought of that, and for some reason, at one point with your voice or something, I was just thought of asking if you were goth.
Like I was goth?
I don't know why. Just thought that
I don't know,
because I never see your face next question that.
like I just like I went through a skater phase in high school. I don't think that counts. But I don't know, like I get a lot of comments on my voice and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
no, I don't no, I'm about 23 and I was born in 94.
Okay, so you want to continue the video or just forget that for now?
Yeah, just forget that for now. I want to get into feminism. That's what I want to get into.
Okay, we can talk about that.
Yeah, let's slam that out. I'm actually thinking about writing or recording an audiobook about feminism.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. And but feminism is my favorite thing. I love debating feminists. It is just the cream on my pie. Like I love debating those dumb. Um, I actually,
I don't even get like exactly what feminism is.
well, feminism, they still want to say, it's for the equality of the sexes, and we all know that's, we all know that we have equality in this country. Women aren't paid less than men. Women aren't, oppressed. It's not like that anymore. In some
Oh, so they're like Hillary Clinton.
right, and feminists, a lot of them, they have nothing to fight for. They have no actual issues to actually really fight for. I mean, if they went to the Middle East, they would, but they won't do that. But they have nothing to fight for. They have equality. They have equal pay. Women can vote. Women can do this. Women can do that. So they bitch about, like man spreading or some shit like that. And it's
Yeah, and
going.
uh, yeah. So I remember this thing. Paul Joseph Watson. I'm talking about this MTV video. I remember this part where this woman is like, "We're not something anti-men," but then at the same time, they chopped this cucumber, which was symbolically meant to represent penis.
Right. These feminists are batshit crazy. Like they just have like such a hate for like white males and penises. Like they they just shiver up and they start foaming out the mouth just thinking about those two things. And it's just feminism is just I'm a traditionalist. I believe in traditional, family. I believe in traditional roles. I believe in that. I believe that men and women both have a society. I mean, both have a place in society. I believe that, men are meant to be, the protectors and providers of the family, and the women are the nurturers and the lovers of the family. That's how I believe that it is naturally supposed to be. Now,
Yeah,
that does not mean that, I'm not, all for, forcing women back into the kitchen and whatnot. No, but I am for traditional, family and the nuclear family. I do believe that it is better for women. It is better for a woman to be a housewife than, having the family, having the marriage, and still having a career. You know, women, after they have children, they want to be with the children. They don't want to be away from the kids. She has the baby and she has to go back into work in like 6, 7 months, right? And she's going to
yeah,
start feeling like she's missing out, and she's not going to be there for the kid, and she's going to feel horrible, and it's just all bad, and I think it's
yeah. But
better for, I
you're
think
not
it,
against like them having a career, huh?
no, if they want to have a career, that's fine. Do what you want to do, but what I'm saying is that having a family, I think it is best for her to stay at home with the kids, because when you,
Especially that's how nature made it.
right, I mean, we can talk about the biology and evolution of it, and we can get into that in a little bit, but feminists, they
Yeah,
just hate the idea of women being housewives or women being stay-at-home moms because they think that's oppression. You know, people,
no, that's just
if you look at statistics, women were a lot happier before feminism than they are now. Like women's
yeah,
overall happiness has dropped like 60% since the start of feminism. So it's just feminism has never been, you know, it started out as a good movement, but then it got corrupted and it got fucked over, you know.
yeah,
And in the process of doing that, they have screwed over relationships. They have flipped the gender roles where men act like women and women act like men. And the nuclear family is almost non-existent now. And that is a huge problem in our society.
yeah,
You know, I want that traditional family. I want a housewife. I want her to stay with the kids because I know how important that is. When I
you
was a,
actually planning to get married?
do I want to get married?
Do you actually plan to?
Eventually, yeah.
Um, Hopefully, you'll find the right woman.
I have no problem with that. But I'm just, it's just society today is just so up, and it's because of, unfortunately, the millennials, my generation, and the Gen Xers,
Yeah,
and they us over. So it's going to have to be your generation that has to fix this problem. It's your generation that has to, move society and culture back, you know, and it's just, you see, like I can understand a lot of fear that men have about getting married. It's not without its
laws.
flaws, you know.
Yeah, especially how messed up relationships are. I mean, a guy could want to date this girl because that he thinks that she's hot, but then it turns out that she's a spoiled bitch, and then his life becomes hell.
Well, see, but I think it's a judge of character, because I've never been with a woman that's been like that before. All the girls that I've ever been with have always been sweet, demure females.
Lucky you.
They never been, rude or bossy or anything like that. I have
Yeah,
dated a few European women, but I have dated people, women here in the States and locally too. But
yeah.
still,
Well,
they never been, you know, like that. And I think it's just a judge of character. And I think that, in today's society, you know, like I said, feminism has flipped the gender roles upside down. Women act more like men and men act more like women. And that's such a big problem in our society. And with that, you're going to have massive divorce statistics. You're going to have massive relationship problems because men and women aren't there in their natural state. A man isn't supposed to be feminine. He's not supposed to be, weak or anything like that. Because to be masculine, to be a man, is to be, hard and tough and, strict, and he's the law in the house. And the woman is, the nurturer and the carer. That's where we are supposed to be naturally and biologically. And then if you look at other animal
Yeah.
kingdoms, right? If you look at lions or gorillas or anything like that, the males are always the protector and providers of the family, right? Of the family group.
Yeah. I
And
heard unfortunately, like some male lions actually killed the cubs.
when they take over the pride, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like I wouldn't want to get with a woman that has kids because like let's say you get with a woman, she has three kids, right? And you get married to her
Yeah.
and you cannot, you know, mate with that woman because she might not want to have any more kids because she's already had three kids.
Yeah.
So now you have to take care of some other man's kid. I disagree with that heavily. You as a man should be able to have your own children. Not
If you
take
want to.
if you want to, but if you want
Yeah.
to, you should be able to have your own, not take care of some other guys. You know, and
Yeah.
society, it's just our society is so up, and it's just how do we fix it? How do we change it for the better?
Well,
How
hopefully my generation will be able to find that out.
well, statistics come out and saying that your generation is a lot more accepting of traditional roles and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm accepting of other things like how I'm just accepting of how people want to be, unless it's something like abuse or terrorism, any of that.
Well, I mean, if you know, like like I said, I agree with traditionalism. I believe traditional family, the nuclear family, is the pillar of one society. And I think if we
Yeah.
don't have that, then what do we have? We have feminism, who is, saying that all men are evil and that all men are just rapists and whatnot. And then you have MGTOW on the other hand. I don't know if you've ever heard about them.
Huh.
Yeah, you have MGTOW on the other hand, who I agree with some of their points. I agree with, that you shouldn't raise another man's kid. The divorce courts are fucked over, and men get screwed over a lot. I agree with that, but their solution to that problem is just rolling over and play dead. Opt out of society, just leave completely. That's not how you do it. If you look at the refugees, they left their society, and how good is that going to do for them? What we
No.
need to do is change society, force it to change. Your
Yeah.
generation is going to be more traditional than my generation, which thank God for that.
Yeah. And speaking of like how feminism, like society, I just also hate how they are also trying to make beauty standards so much different than it is now.
Well, see, but that's another thing that can be explained by biology. You know,
Yeah.
men are visual creatures. Women are more psychological. Men are more
Yeah.
visual. A man has to look at a female, and see if she's uh, if you like talk at it like an animal. Like, okay, like let me give you an example. If you get a male lion, and if he looks at another female lion and he sees that she is primed for mating and to produce healthy offspring, then she's going to be very attracted to him. In humans, it's fat chicks are not the optimal of childbearing possibilities. And it
Yeah.
and it could be said about the same thing on the other side. you know there's a reason why women date tall men. It's a biological feature. It's not patriarchy or gynocentrism.
That's
Ba-
just a normal thing. Like
yeah,
men and women, like women date people that are taller than men that are taller than they are.
right, because it shows that it might not be you know it might not be true, but a taller man in her subconscious says he can protect, he can provide, he has good genes for good offspring. If you say it as if like we're animals, then it makes a lot more sense. And that's what humans are. If you really think about it, we're just animals. We're mammals. We breed, we eat, we we die. And
Yeah.
feminism and MGTOW are the opposite side of the same coin, in my opinion. I
Yeah.
think that MGTOW has potential to get some stuff changed in a good way. But then the negative side is that they grow into feminism. They start bitching about, how white women are evil, or how, women are destroying society and women are evil and you should stay away from them. And it's just, feminism has done enough when it comes to splitting the genders apart. And we don't need another group that's going to do the exact same, you know?
Yeah. And I was just also to say, like, I just, especially with the whole like change beauty standards things, like, it's just like, okay, so you want male teenagers to look at fat female porn, which uh, I think porn is already disgusting enough, but fat people porn.
But see, that's another thing that feminism does.
Yeah.
It wants to change beauty standards. It wants to make you believe that, you're wrong for liking the attractive girl or the feminine girl. You're
I was
supposed to
telling
like
fuck
the
you.
you're supposed to like the fat, Tess Holiday, uh, Lena Dunham characters of the world. And then on
Yeah.
the opposite side with MGTOW, they blame women for not liking short guys. They blame women for dating dominant men, and it's just it's literally the same thing, you know.
Yeah.
And you can't change it because it is a biological uh, feature that we all have inherent in us as animals, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, man, I gotta go take a shower. So
Okay. So silence or leave.
I'm just gonna end the live stream, and it's been amazing talking to you, and I had
That's me
fun.
talking to you.
Maybe we can do it another time.
Yeah.
All right, man. It's been
Bye.
good talking to you, Seth.
Good talking to you too, Chris.
Bye.
Bye.